Come on. So welcome back to the channel once again, and thanks for joining me on another one of these Lakeland Hill clambers. Today, Wainwright number 12 is Seat Sandal. It's another one that I've never been up, so always class, you know, going to be discovering new things. Now, like most of the fells, I've said this before, Wainwright offers us more than one route to the peak, which is fantastic. For today's route, I've chosen to go pretty parallel with a beck 80% of the way up to the top of Seat Sandal, which is fantastic. So of course, like I always say, I'm looking for things en route to the summit to get the camera out for. We've got these weather conditions again. It's quite sunny at the minute, but there's a lot of cloud, lots of different type of cloud lingering around us here in the Grasmere and Rydal Valley. This is a real charming area of the Lake District National Park. And like always, that's something I'm going to try and embrace with the photography. You know, I probably prefer the grand vistas of, you know, Wastwater and Ennerdale areas, but it doesn't mean to say that these areas haven't got anything to offer, you know. Of course they have. It's beautiful. So, come and join me. Let's crack on. There we go, guys. So we've started gaining a little bit of height. There is Seat Sandal, today's destination. You see as well how it kind of plateaus on the top. And Wainwright says, really, it's one of them. He says there's not many features to it. There's not much to it, other than it just being a nice viewpoint. But it's one of the Wainwrights, and we'll make the best of it as always. So I've not come far. It's just been really steep, quite difficult to be honest. You can see we're gaining some nice views now back towards Grasmere. And yeah, it is charming. Honestly, I'm not far from Stone Arthur, where I did one of the Wainwrights not too long ago, and it's very similar views, but I like it, you know. Rolling green English countryside. I'd like to think that somebody would be here from abroad and find this really sweet and charming, you know. It's gorgeous looking back down to Grasmere. So yeah, not far from the road where I've parked up, and you kind of come through a couple of towns. Actually, on that note, where I've parked up, I have got some horrendous news for you, and I cannot believe I've not mentioned this earlier, because it's been about a fortnight now. The Red Beast is no more. I am heartbroken to share this news with you so abruptly and bluntly, but this is life. The gearbox went, and he's gone, sold for parts, scrapped. But the memories are very, very good. Germany, south of France, Britain all over the shot, Isle of Lewis and Harris, and yeah. I was pretty gutted, to be honest, because of those memories, you know. We've done a lot together, me and the Red Beast, but his time was up, and I bought a Peugeot, a silver Peugeot. I'm not calling it the Silver Beast. I'm having none of that. It's not got the same ring to it, and yeah, I'm just going to end it at the Red Beast. So sorry about that. It's some sad news for you there, but anyway, just keep going. So I hope you can hear me all right. This waterfall is roaring, absolutely class. I think this is going to be a nice little photograph as well. Now before we get into it, the composition and everything, the D7200 is here. He took a tumble. Oh, it was my fault completely. I didn't have my bag properly on the floor. I had the camera balanced on top of it. and down it went. And the 16 to 35 lens, to be honest, was kind of quarter submerged into this beck. So I quickly dried it off and it seems to be alright, so fingers crossed, touch wood, we're going to be good. So I'm using it now anyway and it seems fine, so I think we've got away with that one. Or I have. So yeah, lots of water here and just a really nice kind of viewpoint looking back up to Seat Sandal, which of course is nice and apt with that being the fell that we're going up today. But I've chosen this particular cascade here because we've got this nice little twin. And I like it as foreground interest, you know. And then what we're getting every now and again is just these patches of light. It's exactly what I love about this weather. Just these patches of light hitting the side of this particular fell here in the foreground, which is just sort of this side of Seat Sandal. And then a nice craggy area up towards the plateau of Seat Sandal, which is lovely. So of course, you know, it's nice to be photographing the fell that we're headed up to. The sky's pretty nice. And I've got my 6-stop ND filter on the front along with my Nissi polarizer, and I figured out around about 1/2 of a second is a good shutter speed for this particular cascade. I feel like that's the shutter speed that I go for most of the time when I'm photographing these becks and stuff, you know. Of course it always depends on the speed of the movement of the water and how much water there is, but it looks good. So f11 focused on the waterfall, 1/2 a second, like I said, in ISO 100. In fact, I had to bump my ISO up slightly to ISO 160, but that'll be fine. So a nice little long exposure effect. First shot of the day, which I'm glad about because I'm starting to worry a bit that I wasn't going to get the camera out. And when I did, it fell down in the river. Hopefully this photograph's worth all this mess. Noodles. Open the top drawer and there they are, there's your dinner. So obviously stopping for a little bit of a break now. I'm just at Grisdale House here, you can see Fairfield up behind me, and I'm soon going to start what is like the final straight, the last section up to the top of Seat Sandal. It's quality so far, let me tell you this, it's like more of a proper hike than I thought. You probably heard me at the start when I was saying you know, it's going to be quite charming, it's close to Stone Arthur, so it's going to be similar to that. It's not, it feels, especially now, I'm just proper out in the sticks, which is exactly what I love. So I'm really looking forward to this. Well, I'm looking forward to getting to the summit. I'm not looking forward to the ascent because I can tell even from here it's going to be proper steep. But I'm going to enjoy my noodles. Of course, the views are going to get better and better with every step. One thing that's cool about this, you can see loads of tarns and lakes from the top, according to Wainwright's guide. Several, it seemed. And we've got what is Grisdale Tarn just down here as well. That's going to look class. But I suppose it remains to be seen how good that's going to be for the landscape photography. But we'll see. I'll get fueled up and yeah, we'll crack on with this steep looking ascent. Oh. Brilliant! Oh, I'll tell you what, This is how I'm going to get injured, climbing these cairns just to touch the top. It's class! It's class! Oh, just proper unexpected, exactly like I was saying when I was having the old noodles a second ago. The views are incredible, like, it just, excuse me, it's one of those summits that just open up the moment you hit the top, and you see so much more than what you could see throughout the whole way up. This one probably more than any that I've been up so far. I can see all the way back to Skiddaw, back towards like Great Gable and Pillar, where I'm going to grab a shot in a minute. That looks lovely with the telephoto. We've got views down this way. We've got, like, honestly, it is sweeping, and there are tarns and lakes galore. We've got Grasmere, Coniston, Windermere. I can see all the way back to the Gaff over Morecambe Bay. Madness. So for the summit photograph, I'm going to focus in this direction because we've got a beautiful vista looking over Grisdale Tarn and then actually back to Ullswater back there as well. It's madness. And we got Dollywagon Pike over on this side, and then I think that's St Sunday Crag as well, and they just form this nice kind of bowl. It's like U-shape, and then Grisdale Tarn is at the bottom if I go just over that way a little bit. And yeah, I'll go over there now. In fact, I'm going to grab a telephoto shot here now of the bigger fells over there, like Pillar, Great Gable, Great End, and Scarfell Pike as well. And then I'll meet you over there and talk you through my idea with that shot, because I think that's going to be the one. So this shot really is as simple as they come. I don't know if I mentioned that a second ago when I was on the peak, but the reason I wanted to come down here, can you see any of these? There's like a few craggy areas, which I didn't expect because Wainwright said there's not much up here, which is right, there isn't, but to a landscape photographer's eye, you're always looking at tiny little rocks like this and thinking, oh, maybe I can use it as foreground, but I just decided against it. And it's become a real cliche, especially on my channel doing these Wainwrights, but sometimes you make the effort. You don't need to overcomplicate things. You know, this is a stunning vista. Instead of using the rocks as foreground, making it more complicated, just use Grisdale Tarn as the foreground element of the photograph. It's all done for us. It's unreal. So I've come far enough this way so that I could see the whole of the Tarn. Whereas a bit further back up the peak, and Wainwright even says this in the guide, you have to come a little bit further along to see the whole Tarn. Yeah, it was being cut off up there at this bottom end. But this is perfect. So I've got the whole Tarn, this whole beautiful cereal bowl down here. It really is. You've got the Wheatos down here at the bottom. All we need is a bit of milk down there, and we're living the dream. So yeah, we've got Dollywagon Pike on the left-hand side. I've tried to include quite a lot of him. And then we've got this one here. I don't know. Is it that one? I can never tell the way I set the camera up. Yeah, it's that one. That is St Sunday Crag. And what I love is between St Sunday Crag and Dollywagon, they're quite similar heights, you know, so we've got a really nice left-right balance as well. And that's it. You know, we've got Ullswater in the background, some moody clouds at the top. The ingredients are there. All we've got to do is make sure the exposure's right, make sure we don't overexpose that beautiful sky. And that's it. Simple as that. So the image was taken at f8, 1/200th of a second, and ISO 100. And I think this, for me at least, is probably going to be the pick of the bunch, you know. That's it. I'm going home. I've had enough. I haven't had enough, but it's time to go. I think an Indian takeaway is beckoning. Is yeah, on the cards Friday. So a bit more energy in the legs to get down, I think. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm very sorry to have had to, you know, broken the news about the Red Beast, but the day was always going to come. And at least now we've got a more reliable car to get around on adventures, I suppose. But yeah, I'll dedicate this episode of Seat Sandal to the Red Beast. What a treat. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoy this last photograph. As always, if you could spare me one quick second, please hit the thumbs up button just below the video. It really helps out my content. And of course, if you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. There's plenty more Wainwrights to come. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Out.